Hello, my name is Ron Schoenfelder. I'm a volunteer at the Soto National Memorial in Bradenton, Florida. I started here about 15 years ago. My daughter is a park ranger and she started her career here because since we live in Bradenton, and that's how I got involved in volunteering here. 15 years ago, one of the first challenges that was presented to me was the chainmail that we used in our presentations. It would, by the end of the season, it would be ripped and torn, and they were looking for somebody to repair that. And so that's what I tried to do, and I ended up being pretty successful at it, but it wasn't without its challenges. And what I want to do today is show you my techniques or my secrets in how to line up torn chainmail and get it to look like it was originally. So what we'll start with is showing you how we demonstrate that the 16th century Europeans would have made chainmail. 16th century chainmaker would have this dowel that the blacksmiths would make for them. There'd be a hole in the dowel and they simply put their wire through that after it's in the device. So let me put it in our jig. The wire will go through the hole, and after it's in there they simply turn the crank and start winding the wire around the dowel. After you have it as far as you can go, you need to cut off the piece right next to the hole. Take this piece out, and you'll end up with a coil like this. You cut off the straight pieces, then you'll just follow this line all the way up the coil to make your individual rings. And that's your basic unit. There are a lot of good videos out there on how to make chainmail, and I didn't want to redo another one of those. My main purpose today is to show you how to make repairs, and in order to do that I need to just establish the basic unit of the chainmail. And our basic design here today is the 5-in-1 construction of the chainmail pattern. And what you'll see here is that my center ring has got 4 other rings going through it, and that'll be the pattern throughout your entire piece. I have it next to this one so that you can see how that configuration might happen. If this one be connected to this one, or this one would represent this one. In order to connect these two, you would have to have another ring to connect these two, and then you'll have to have other rings to connect these pieces to these pieces, and you'll connect that with the ring. And so I did that with the copper rings, and as you'll notice that all of the copper rings lean towards the left, and all of my black rings lean towards the right. And when I look at this, I call these columns and ranks. Going across this way I would call this a ranks, but going this way or this way I would call them the columns. And all of the columns lean the same direction, but they alternate back and forth. So all of my coppers are leaning to the right, to the left, and all of my black ones are leaning to the right. And then you simply connect those with other ones, and as you can follow the pattern, you'll see how that happens with the copper ring. So as you see here, I've taken the chainmail pattern. For demonstration purposes, I wanted to show you what it would look like if we just had 2 4-in-1 unit connected here. How do we connect those? And to do that, you would simply bring these over here like this, and you would put your copper ring down through here, up through these two, and they would connect. And you would do the same thing here. You would go ahead and you would take your copper wire, take it down through there and bring it up through these two, and then in order to connect these, you would have to bring a copper wire down here and up through here to make that connection again, and that would complete your piece. So, and then this would be your finished product. Okay, so you can see from this illustration that I went from this is the same pattern as this is over here, but I've taken out my color-coded rings and have made it this what your chainmail is going to look like. But hopefully you'll have a good understanding of how this is all incorporated. But if I was going to connect these now, I simply would go down through here and come up through these sides, and I'd have a ring here and the same thing here. So that is your basic pattern for 4-in-1 chainmail. And with an understanding of that, then we'll go to our actual repair of an existing torn chainmail. When I started doing this 15 years ago, and I would look at the problem, trying to find the problem, my eyes got very disoriented because I was looking through multiple layers of chainmail. And so I soon realized that I needed to separate those layers so that I could focus on the layer that I was trying to repair. And so you simply want to get a stiff cardboard or a stiff piece of white paper to put down so you can separate that out, and you can focus on one area. The next problem I have is getting our chainmail oriented, getting it lined up, and that was always a hard thing to do. But like I said, if you look at these raised edges as columns, and you have a raised edge that will going one direction and then the next one is going the other direction, and you have to follow that pattern. I found out that if you take a skewer, a barbecue skewer that will fit in there, it'll help you line things up. And you simply come down and you follow it down one column, and this will stabilize those things. These are always moving, and because they're always moving, they're never in the same place, but this will help stabilize your orientation. And then I want to come up above my rent and do it and follow it through again. And I'm just going to come down the same column, the same raised area, and I need to make sure that I'm there at the right one. So here's one here, 2, 3. I'm on this one, and I made the mistake of going through the wrong one. I need to get it. I need to make it the same. This column needs to be going this direction. I need to come through here. So let's do this one, where all of the rings are leaning to the left, and I come out here. And now that I'm stabilized, I can see that this is my problem. This ring has got 2 rings going through it, and it needs to have 2 more. I'm going to change this. Let me come up here. I did give myself room to make my correction there. Here's a left-leaning column, my next left-leaning column, my next left-leaning column, and then this is the one I have here. I have this ring here that is going through 2 different rings, and it appears as though I need to come in, they need to come up, and I just need to go through these 2 rings. So these are the 2 rings that have come undone right here. So what I'm going to do is take this one. I need to open it up just enough so I can get through my other two rings. Again, they are this one here, and we're going to come up through here. And then I'm going to close that ring. And that should take care of that. And now what I need is a full ring to come in here, and I need to follow this column here, and I need to connect this ring and these rings here, this one and this one. And then I'll need to move my skewer because it'll be in the way. Hopefully I can get it repaired with this one. Where's my rings? Here we go. I need to open up my rings substantially to get through there. And I'll use my skewer, but we'll need to go down through these two rings, and we need to come up through these two right here. And we close that up. And there you go. So now I have to go past this skewer. But we've made two repairs now, and we'll close that up. I've come to my next connection here, and I see that there are three rings. In this ring, there are three other rings going through it the same way over here. So what's missing is a ring, one more ring that goes through here, and that's all I'm going to do is just add a ring to complete those 4-in-1 units. And all I have to do is go down through here and come up again, and I'm going to close that off. All right, so what you're going to find that this is slow, tedious work. But now that I've got this lined up here, now need to make sure that we're coming up this way too. We're coming up on our ranks, and our rank is going this way, and let me come along with another rank that's coming. Here's one that needs to be picked up here. This ring needs to go through this ring, or vice versa, and go through all of those again. So let me go and make that correction. Well, we're in the middle of it here, but it goes right here. We have two rings here that have only got three rings going through them, is because they're not connected. So I'm going to take this one here, and actually I need to take it all the way out to get it oriented right. And there should be just a hole there, but you'll see now this is ideally set up for my center ring on my 4-in-1 unit. Right there, I'm going to go down through here, come up through there, and have that combined again, or united. Oh, I lost it. There we go. Here it is. So we're going to go down through here. And come up through here. Close it up. There. And now we're all lined up here. So this is the finished result. I hope that these hints and techniques have been helpful for you, and it'll help you with your own chainmail at your own park. Thank you very much for watching, and good luck with your armor in the future. Amen.